We celebrate World Earth Day. The focus on protecting the planet from pollution and deforestation very much back in focus. As a way to contribute positively, Sandton-Apartments has developed a waste management program involving saving 300 trees to try and cut back on CO2 emissions. So how exactly does this work, and is it having a real impact? Well, Chief Investment Officer at Acsion Limited Astrino Nicoloudakis joining us this evening. Astrino, good evening to you. I appreciate your time. So tell me where this idea has come from. We'll get into technicalities in a moment about CO2 emissions, but where's the idea come from? Good evening.
First, good evening, Gareth, and your viewers. Well, listen, Actions and Anaprop have always been a very innovative property management company. We first started with solar, and we're always looking for new ideas to create new sustainable property solutions. So with being long-term investors, this type of project definitely fits into our goals.
So when we talk about these 300 trees, give me a sense of where numbers like that start coming from. Because when you start putting this together, I imagine when it comes to anything environmentally focused, you want to try and do as much as possible. But I imagine there's also a reality behind doing this. So is this just a start, the 300 trees, or is this sort of where the story ends?
No, this is just the start. I think there's a lot of technology that is coming out directly as a result of economic and environmental solutions that are cost-effective, better than legacy technologies that are used to try and minimize our carbon footprint and improve our solutions and the property management of our buildings to our tenants and guests.
Why do you think it's important for a company like yours to start moving into sort of more greener properties? Is there a market behind this? Is there a market driver that you can substantiate?
We definitely can. I think we're long-term investors. So when we do an investment, Horizon isn't just normally an in and out trading. It's for the long term. So some of our malls we've had for as long as 20 years. And we can see from having these malls for that long amount of time that these quick legacy solutions do start becoming tedious and not effective, where these environmental solutions are being a lot more effective and aligned to our long-term investment strategies. So I don't think it's something that's a flash in the pan. I think it's something that will continue to evolve as a result of the fact that it helps us maintain our long-term investment horizon.
And Acsion has a fairly large portfolio as well. I think it's a name that many people will be easily recognizing as one of the leaders in property as well. And I suppose the question has to be asked, going green like that on a local level, especially in a high-rise area like Sandton, basically it's a concrete jungle, isn't it? Where would you say we are as a country, Astrino, or maybe as Sandton, compared to your other property portfolios around the world? Do you think we're quite far back?
So let's just maybe address it with regards to our portfolios that are outside in the rural areas. Sandton is more cutting edge. It is as a result of the technology being more readily available to the urban areas. We would like and are going to roll this out to our retail and rural portfolio. So locally, I think Sandton is cutting edge in South Africa. Internationally, we are a little behind with regards to the way that we separate waste and the punitive measures that are put in place by government to ensure that you do recycle your waste. So those measures are starting slowly to be put into place by municipalities in South Africa. And we are looking at companies like Smart Waste to try and assist us in sorting this into organic and non-organic waste.
When you start talking with companies like Smart Waste as well, do you start to get the sense that it's not just the right thing to do, Astrino, but also if you're talking about an area like Sandton, it's very hip, I think it's how the kids say it these days as well. Do you think handling waste management and becoming more green is starting to gain traction? Because there is always that concern, isn't there, that it's a bit of a flash in the pan. It's cool for now, it's trendy for now, but it won't last. But I imagine by doing this through properties, people get a real sense of the difference it can actually make.
Well, Gareth, I think when you send out 133 tons of waste and you get back the compost, and you use it in your gardens and you see your gardens flourish, I think you already start seeing that benefit of really taking waste and making it something that continuously keeps on giving, than just really just being the normal society and just throwing things away. But it's not only that, it also helps you reduce your carbon emissions. And that's something that is starting to become more and more topical as we see our weather systems change. Our winters are starting to become cooler. We're getting a lot more rain in summer in South Africa. You start seeing it and think to yourself, you know what? It is happening, and we need to do something for our future and our children.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more as well. We're seeing buildings these days, and I'm sure you and I will talk again in the future, buildings these days that are becoming more energy efficient, cutting back on their CO2 emissions, but in this case, trees being planted to do that as well. So Sandton going to have a very different look and doing it for the right reasons. Astrino, thank you very much indeed. Astrino Nicoloudakis joining us this evening. He is the CIO, is the Chief Investment Officer, if you will, at Acsion Limited. Going to have a very different skyline in Sandton if they keep doing what they're doing. My thanks to him for making time this evening.